One second. Hold that thought. Okay, recording is started.
July 9th meeting. Water Commission, 6:40. Call meeting to order.
Make a motion, we table commission business and allow Joanne Irving to address the board, commission.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye.
Okay. Joanne?
Thank you for that consideration. Mr. Estes challenged me to come with proof, so I have. My address is to Mr. Estes, and I wish to say that your slanderous assaults to denigrate members of the Hill governing body, the community department leaders, and members of the Hill Water Works that you're responsible to concerns many in our community. In review of all the Waterworks Commissioners' meeting minutes.
Excuse me, can we have attention to her?
I'm listening. It's being recorded.
It's distracting, with all the paperwork and everything, sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. In review of all Waterworks Commissioners' meeting minutes, you and others have pursued and have misinterpreted information available to you. Your recent Facebook post provoked an inquiry from me regarding reference of material posted. Your disregard prompted my interest to read Commissioners' minutes to discover past discussion reported. Once again, questions of generated grant money, Article 13, 2018 March Town Meeting, page 84. Article clearly states, Article 13, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $65,000 for the purchase and installation of a backup generator at the Hill Waterworks Pump House. 50% of that cost of the project is to come from an Emergency Management Performance Grant from the New Hampshire Department of Safety, Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, and 50% from Hill Waterworks funds and town in-kind services. No money to come from taxation. This is a non-lapsing appropriation per RSA 37-7-6 and will not lapse until the generator installation is completed or by December 31st, 2019, whichever comes sooner. Mr. Estes has spent at least 3 years on the Hill Budget Committee and should be familiar with with MS9 and your town report, which in pages 1 through 8 has no such entry of reported new funds for this article. The article may have passed, but there was never any money. They didn't receive the grant.
From the town or from the waterworks?
If they didn't receive the grant, there was no reason to take money out of the Hill Waterworks coffer.
But they still tax the taxpayers.
Article already passed.
No taxation. It says no taxation. How did they tax the taxpayers?
Because the article passed.
The article passed. It had to pass the taxation. If the article passed, the grant money is not coming out of taxation, but the matching amount is.
No, came out of the waterworks. Read the article again. It says 50% of the cost of the project is to come from the Emergency Management Performance Grant and the New Hampshire, from the New Hampshire Department of Safety, Division of Waterworks, blah, blah, blah. No money to come from taxation. You, sir, should know that the New Hampshire DRA says you have to appropriate before you can spend. So the town had to have that go forth, and had they got the match money, they could expend from their.
How is this a mismanagement of my duties?
I have 15 minutes, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes?
I'm chairman. I'm the chairman of this board. I don't know why you got 15 minutes. You're allotted the time.
Because Mr. Estes,
We allotted you the time. We will allot you the time. If
yes,
this goes off the rails, I
didn't
as
get it.
chairman have,
I have
say
15
to-
minutes, according to his reference to New Hampshire Department of Education.
But what,
I did-
there's no reference to any 15 minutes, especially not.
What is my allotted time, sir?
there,
You have no allotted time.
You said so on Facebook.
No, I did not.
hey, I'm chairman. I'm running the meeting. You have the floor, okay?
Okay,
Forget a lot of time,
So-
just continue, go.
all right. The Water Commission is spinning their wheels, and numerous times you have implicated town selectmen of reallocating funds with no substantial proof. The Water Department has rules and regulations regarding responsibilities for charges. It needs to be updated, by the way. Still has Hemian and Cochran as commissioners and all payments being made to the town clerk. That's just an FYI. The Waterworks Department needs its members to pay usage. The commission often speaks of meters not working. Wouldn't this be a matter of priority to generate funds and have all its members paying their fair share? Section D of Section 5 of your rules and regulations, which I have a copy of with me.
Okay, can I pause you for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Can we address these as we go, or do you want to do the whole thing and then try to go back?
No, let me finish reading, and then we can go back and you can.
Okay.
Okay, Section 5, billing of Waterworks Regulation B states, charges. I thought it was responsibility of charges. It says bills are sent to the property owner and payment is due on or before the due date shown on the bills. Hill Waterworks will not bill any tenants. Per RSA 38-22, all charges for services furnished to patrons by a municipality owned electric, gas, or waterworks shall create a lien upon the real estate, whereas such services are furnished. All customers are responsible to pay all fees within the time allotted. And then it continues to say, pay the town clerk. Okay, so under abatement, you have a section 5 in B. It says abatements of monthly bill to a customer can be requested only if there are no, and it's in large letters, no longer any use of the water by a customer. I'm asking what was the criteria for the reported abatements May 14th in the meeting minutes saying Melanie Thompson's bill was abated. And so I'm asking for the criteria that wasn't extended to many other members struggling with tax bills, elderly, fixed incomes, widows, single parents, and illnesses. These people are your paying members as well. Posting on social media, Mr. Estes, is not good for an official serving in your capacity to the community and serves no useful purpose. Your vulgar treatment of others costs money to the entire town, and we need to work together to thrive for the future. I'm open to questions.
Okay. So, as chairman, most of that was aimed at Mr. Estes. Would you like to respond?
I don't hear any substantiation of any
I want to know what
misuse.
was the criteria for abatement for Melanie Thompson?
Okay, so 91A,
Yep,
disclosure. The central purpose of the right to know law is to ensure that government activities be open to the sharp eye of the public scrutiny. Not that information about private citizen that happens to be in the warehouse of the government be disclosed. This is under the information that is not to be shared with the public. In other words, if you abate somebody for whatever reason, the abatement can be disclosed, just like an issue of non-public. If a board goes into non-public and discusses something, they have to reference what the non-public was. But they don't have to tell you what the discussion was or what the final decision was. They have to simply tell you what the subject of non-public was.
I'm
In
asking
this
for the
instance-
criteria.
In this instance, an abatement served by the board is not open to disclosure. It's part of the criteria that 91A holds as personal information. You're not entitled to it. Now, that being said, I will tell you what the abatements were for, okay?
I'll tell you.
I'll let Stephen address the one that was brought up about him. I will
No,
address
it's not
the
even-
others.
It's not even
I'm
about,
aware of the others.
it's not even about mine.
I'll address the others.
This is to my wife.
Okay,
Okay.
so the abatement that was brought up by Joshua Tucker was in the amount of $1,490 that the gentleman was overbilled more than 120 days ago, more than 120 days prior to these commissioners taking over.